right, we're here to tell you about a new product that we're launching called Janus. Janus is going to completely change how you've wired your motorized projection screens forever. Janus is a brand new power and control hub that we created for our motorized shading world and have adopted it for all of our motorized screens. Our motorized screens are now available in low voltage up to 160 inches. What does that mean for you, the integrator? That means that you don't have to run power conduit to a screen in order to get that screen to function properly. Now you can run both control and power over a single wire to the screen, and Janus allows you to run up to 8 in one half rack size unit. Janus, as you may be familiar with your Roman mythology, Janus is a Roman mythological god who has two faces. One side of him overlooks the past, one side of him overlooks the future. One side of Janus is terminal, which is overlooking the past. This allows you to use any kind of multi-conductor wire that you can imagine. The other side of Janus, which overlooks the future, is using our UTP face. So any kind of Cat5 or Cat6 cable that you want to use, it just works with Janus. Now, what makes Janus so special? The number one thing is its size. We call Janus ultra high density. That means that you can fit a lot of things in a very small space. So in this half rack box, you can do 8 screens and or accessories on the UTP side, or you can do 8 screens on the terminal side. Now, because Janus is so small, we wanted to make it versatile in its mounting options. So we've created Janus with 6 universal mounting points all over the bottoms and the side of Janus, which allow you to mount this in over 100 different ways that we've found. One of those ways is by using DIN rails, which you may be familiar with. You can take a DIN rail and you can mount it to any of these sides of Janus, whether it's the bottom or the side. And the benefit here is that we've created Janus to comply with all of the plenum specs. So for scenarios like what you see behind me with a low voltage screen, we can pop Janus up into the plenum area above the drop ceiling and wire a single home run to a central hub from where all the motorized screens are located. So it reduces the total amount of wiring that you have to do, which is a great benefit, and it gives you the ability to create extremely efficient topology. One of our favorite type of mounting configurations that we like is rack. So we say Janus is ready to rack. What makes this so important for you is that because Janus is so ultra high density, we can squeeze a lot of screens into a very small space. So in this 2 RU of space here, we are powering and controlling 32 motorized screens. And because Janus is infinitely scalable, in a rack this size, we figure you can fit up to 1,000 different screens, power and control. How do you control it? One Sci-Fi is your control gateway, which allows you to pop out to any control system you can imagine, whether it's Crestron or AMX. And you can also utilize Sci-Fi to become your programming and limit setting tool in the field via a web browser, which works on any device imaginable. Now, one of the greatest features of Janus is it's completely redundant. So what I mean by completely redundant is if you look at Janus here, there's a power port on this side, and there is also a power port on this side, which allows you to insert power from both sides. If one circuit fails, you can use a UTP system or another circuit to serve as the backup, and Janus is smart enough to automatically switch over to the active circuit. Moving around to the back side of the rack that we've shown here, we have the power for Janus laid out as well. Now, even if we were completely redundant in this system, all of these power bricks here would comprise only 2 RU of space for full redundancy. One important thing to consider is that the power blocks that we use for Janus are extremely efficient. That means that as I touch these, they are cool to the touch, so there's not going to be any concern, especially if this is placed into a plenum space or into a closet that may have no ventilation or poor ventilation. There's not going to be any concerns about burning down the building or catching fire or anything of that matter, because these are cool to the touch. So we believe, regardless of what type of system you're putting together, whether it's a corporate AV, boardroom, house of worship, or education system, Janus is going to be the ultimate low voltage motorized power and control system for you.
Audio Jungle.